So I'm here at the Metal Squad, mate, with Terry. Terry, how are you, man?
Good, man. How are you?
Pretty good, thank you. So, you're enjoying the new venue?
I am. A lot more room. VIP is definitely worth it with this shade. It's nice, and a place to sit.
So,
Sitting down last year, not an option. This year, lots of sitting down.
so can you tell us a little bit about what's on your shirt right there?
So, Beer Alien. So, we're a San Diego-based marketing company. We specialize in promoting and marketing craft breweries all around the country. So we travel around the country, and I effectively drink beer as a job, which is cool. And we help bars and restaurants and hotels and everybody else make more money selling beer. And this year I decided that I was going to basically drink beer all day at the Metal Spot meet. So,
that must be a pretty cool thing to put in the resume, right?
so I'm not volunteering this year. I'm buying my beer and not working. So it's
Experience, lots of beer.
good. Beer. I can drink beer.
That must be like the most beautiful thing to put in a resume, right?
Absolutely.
So you also do something else called Metal Life?
I do Metal Life, yeah. So I looked around about 10 years ago at all the different metal websites, and there's a million of them. And they all kind of pretty much rehash the same press releases. So if you go to like Blabbermouth, and then you go to any other metal website, you're not going to find anything new you didn't already hear, because they already got it. They got an army of people. So I was like, well, metal's more than just music, though. It's an attitude, it's a lifestyle, it's who you are.
Exactly.
And no other music's like that. So I thought, well, what do we do on the, oh my god, rare occasion we're not listening to music? Because occasionally you got to just stop and relax. And so we're watching movies, playing video games. And, maybe some of us are reading comics, reading novels, whatever. But there tends to be a similar genre for that. And it's usually horror, sci-fi, action, whatever. So I thought, let me focus on that and do the whole lifestyle bit. So our site focuses on, TV shows and movies and comics, video games, and books you can read, really weird, cool things. Like just recently we talked about Doritos. It's on Friday on Amazon, they sold a bag of Doritos. Built into the bag, you can plug your headphones in and listen to the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 soundtrack.
What?
It's in the bag of chips. Like, it's not inside the bag, it's printed on the bag. You just, plug your headphones into a bag of Doritos.
Wow.
When has that ever happened? Never. So that's the kind of stuff we talk about. It's cool. Guardians of the Galaxy is a cool movie.
Yeah.
Is it really metal? No. But metalheads are into it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And so that gives me a broader spectrum to play with. And for my writers, it's more fun because we're not just looking for the next cool band that everybody is already talking about.
Right.
Or talking about a band that probably deserves attention, but nobody talks about. So then we're not big enough to really do them any good, and we're not doing ourselves any good by spending all that time on an article that 5 people read.
Exactly.
So, why did I do this? And so I'd much rather spend my time getting more people to show up to the site, and then when I do talk about some little minuscule band no one's ever heard of, more people are already there to see that. Because we do throw some band stuff in between here and there. Sometimes it's a major band because it's a big cool thing, and then other times it's a band that emailed me and said, hey, can you help? And I'm like, who the hell are you? Never heard of you. But sure, let's help you. You're not even that good, but that's not me I shouldn't decide that. Every metal band's worth their weight to somebody.
Of course.
And so,
Of course.
I stopped doing reviews for that reason, for the most part, because my personal opinion of what it sounds like is just my opinion.
Yes.
It doesn't mean it's good or bad. And plus I'm not a famous person that my opinion matters. So
that's what we're all trying to get at.
But obviously reviewing albums still helps the labels because they need a full spectrum of this guy didn't really like it, this guy did, this girl loved it, this girl didn't, whatever. But that's not our main focus anymore.
So it's more of metal in the media.
Yeah, it's all about just letting you know what's going on out there that you might be into because you're a metalhead that you might not have noticed just going to a regular metal website.
So what's the most metal video game you ever played?
That's hard to say. Because most of the ones that have been metal themed have been terrible games.
Yeah, sadly. Brutal Legend wasn't that bad.
It was an okay game, yes. I actually think Postal was probably the most metal game ever because it was more violent than
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, it was.
And like your targets, like go take out the troop of cheerleaders with the car. That was it. That was your mission. Or like there's a parade, kill the entire parade. Okay, you know, so that was kind of metal in the sense of just pure violence
Yeah.
for no reason. You know,
Because we are violent people.
yeah. Well, we got to get our violence out somehow.
Yeah.
But most video games, when you're violent, there's a reason. You know, you're saving the planet, or you're rescuing somebody, or you're a drug dealer, or you're a gang guy, or whatever. But this was just like, go do that because it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
And I thought that was more metal than anything else.
So where can we find more about Metal Life? Where can we find
MetalLife.com. We're also on Facebook. I have an Instagram account for that, but metalheads don't really pay attention to Instagram unless there's like band photos.
Yeah.
So I don't really use it. So it's mainly the site. Twitter's a big thing for us, so we're on Twitter as well. And like I said, Metal Life's a good combination of, you're going to find us talking to, you know, somebody from like Game of Thrones maybe.
Nice.
But then we also might be talking to somebody that's in a band. We might be talking about a comic book. We might be talking about a video game, a book.
Game of Thrones is pretty metal.
So it is, and it isn't. It depends on how you look at it. But you know, and then there's so much, like, you know, like for example, like Viking metal is an entire genre.
Yeah.
So obviously
Yeah.
the history of Vikings is interesting. So occasionally we'll talk about that, you know, or we'll talk about, you know, just weird things that bands have a tendency to talk about in lyrics, because metal lyrics are more intelligent than most every other music.
Yeah.
So you'll have some bands talking about like astrophysics, you know, and occasionally there might be something cool that happens along those lines. And so it's just anything I happen to see or hear about that I think is cool. That if I think it's cool, then other metalheads must think it's cool too.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm being weird, but you know,
We're all weird,
there has to be
brother.
there has to be somebody else besides me that thought that was pretty metal.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah, brother.
So that's how that should work.
Oh Terry, it's been a pleasure talking to you,
You
man.
too, man.
We'll be in touch. You know,
Absolutely.
Metal Life.
Metal Life.